State making a speech. What he was saying essentially was this day is a special day for us in the APC and of course in the history of our democracy. We want to assure you that this time around we will not hesitate, we will not leave any stone unturned to bring success to our party in the next elections. Essentially that's what he said. And in addition to that, he also talked about the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, General Muhammad Buhari. Well, he did say concerning General Buhari that, quote, General Buhari is our candidate. And then he now turned to address General Buhari saying, sir, we want to assure you that in Kano State, you are in charge, and in Kano State, you will be successful. So that's a summary of the speech delivered by the chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Kano State, Alhaji Umar Haruna. Well, at the moment, the governor of Kano State will also be trying to make his way to the podium to address the state's citizens. Even at this rate, it's not very easy going because of the barricade that sectioned off the crowd from the movement of the dignitaries of the APC here gathered today has been pushed down, and so law enforcement officials will have to form a human cordon to be able to allow the leadership of the APC, that includes General Muhammad Buhari, the presidential candidate, the chairman of the APC, the national chairman of the APC, Chief John Oyegun, General Buhari's running mate, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, and of course the brother governors, Governor Rabi Musa Kwankwaso of Kano State and the governor of Sokoto State, His Excellency Governor Ali Wamako, the governor of Rivers State and director of the Buhari campaign organization, Governor Rotimi Chibike Amechi, the number 4 man in the country, talking about the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal. Finally, of course, the pathway has been cleared, and there they are, moving to the podium, where hopefully they should be able to gain access with a little bit of difficulty, but slowly and steadily they are moving towards the podium where they'll be delivering their speeches. At this moment, the law enforcement officials are hard put, clearing a pathway through this sea of humanity, blocking, impeding progress. Oh dear, someone has collapsed, and thankfully he's being lifted above the crowd so he can get some fresh air. He's going to be moved out of the place in order to receive first aid, in order to be treated, in order to be revived. I did hear about someone fainting in the throng in the press, and well, it's been confirmed. You're seeing it for yourselves. The victim being moved out. But then you can see the sea of heads, and probably towering above everyone here, the APC presidential candidate. I think they're just trying to touch him. I think they're just trying to, well, make some form of contact with him. You can see people straining, pushing with all their strength, with all their energy to get a touch on General Muhammad Buhari and his train. Well, on a light-hearted mode, let's just hope that they don't have everything they have on their backs stripped off, that people may just be carrying as keepsakes. But successfully, they've been able to make it to the podium in one piece. And the crowd should be quietened for a moment now in order to listen, in order to hear, and probably in order to be convinced. A loud cheer goes up from the crowd as General Muhammad Buhari successfully makes it to the podium, which in itself is crowded because the barricades that prevented the crowd from gaining access have been pushed down by the sheer weight of the people gathered here. So very difficult going, getting onto the platform there. And the rest of the Buhari campaign train. And probably those who are not on the train as well, trying as much as possible to get onto that podium. Well, hopefully they'll be restrained, albeit successfully, by the law enforcement agents who are having a very hard time doing their job here. But difficult as it may have proved, retired General Muhammad Buhari, the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, has been able to make his way to the podium. There he is, waving the broom, a symbol of his party, and his supporters also waving their brooms down there in return. Now it is time for the law enforcement and security officials and probably the organizers of this event to ensure that the crowd calms down, the crowd quietens as much as possible. Well, not everyone has been able to make it to the podium, especially on the Buhari campaign train. Some of them are still being pulled by their flowing robes, their flowing abada. But it's just their clothes that are being dragged. It's just their clothes that are being tugged. It's just their clothes that are being pulled by the people who are just trying to get a touch onto their leaders. A little bit of stumbling there by some of them, because they're being pushed and shoved and dragged and pulled in all directions. Their security detail in some ways pretty helpless to do anything about it, but all they want to do is just to get on top of the podium. And I tell you, it's been very, very difficult going for the TV cameramen too. Aside from those who have had secure purchase, you can see that the television shots are also being affected by the people who are pushing and shoving for whatever reason. And it's all for the All Progressives Congress and its presidential candidate, retired General Muhammad Buhari. Well, let's just hope that the public address system will also be spared, because the platforms housing those loudspeakers mounted here in the studio to make sure that the All Progressives Congress campaign team is heard loud and clear is about to provide a purge for some of the people here who are intrepid, who are bold, who are brave enough to begin to climb whatever perch they find available. It's very risky indeed, because nobody knows how stable these things are. They were not meant to accommodate humanity. They were meant to accommodate the weight of the speakers, and now they are being forced, they are being compelled to carry some added weight. But then, before the speeches, which have not yet begun, before the speeches which we are looking forward to, prayers were offered to the Almighty, asking for divine guidance and divine intervention and divine assistance to ensure that the people who are being who are risking themselves to get vantage positions and bird's eye views of what is happening here today don't end up injuring themselves. I understand that all the members of the Buhari campaign train are on the stage, on the podium at the moment, and probably some of the over-enthusiastic supporters who are not members of the campaign train may also have made their way up to the stage. And right now, the members of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps and members of the Nigeria Police are also trying as much as possible to calm the crowd down. Moments ago, I saw a member of the NSCDC pulling someone who was fainted onto the stage, where the crowd is much less and where hopefully he'll be able to get some fresh air and first aid treatment to revive him. And as for these ones who are sharing that particular platform with the loudspeakers, Let's hope that nobody tumbles down and gets trampled or injures himself in the process.